Until this moment we were talking about a minus 1,000 euro modular system. In the last videos you could have seen how I built it up and how it sounds. And as soon as it's finished, and the finished system was, as you've seen it, about half of the rack here. It's a 84T rack. Half of the rack was filled, and you can do a lot of things with that. And it takes a long time to get into it and to understand even this half here. So then comes the point, as with all these modular freaks out there, even especially the ones who bought a bigger rack from the beginning, you always got the feeling, I have to fill this up. It's kind of an addiction, isn't it? I think there are many guys out there, or girls, who say it's an addiction if you have this big rack and there's nothing in, fill it up. But think before you do that. I still believe that to fill up one of these racks is by far enough for the first period of working with modular systems and to understand what's going on. Imagine all these plugs here, and mathematically, if you think which module can be connected to another one and affects another one, there are so many possibilities to think about it, and you get lost in space if you have too much in the beginning. So from now on, I think the next step could be to fill up one of these systems and then leave it like that for a year or even longer to really understand what's going on here and what do you need in it additionally. I just can have a short introduction what I did. I had this VCO in the beginning, of course. I had a VCF, this 106 SEM VCF here. Of course I had an LFO. That was quite a big, complicated LFO I used from the beginning, because I thought in the beginning could be bigger. Use a big, nice LFO, ADSR and a DVCA. So that's what was it. Then, as soon as you work with the system, you got the feeling, okay, I need some noise to do some sample and hold things, or to add some percussive sounds. And I did need, of course, a second VCO. In my case, one with a pure sinus wave, the A110-1. There are more sophisticated VCOs on the market, but for this small system, it's quite enough to have two VCOs who are a little bit different, each from the other, have noise here. Then, of course, I always thought I need a mixer, an audio mixer where I can put the VCO signals in here. And I would like to have a second VCF, one with self-resonance, that is a little bit diverse from the other ones, so it makes sense not to only have two of a kind, but two different ones of a kind. That's what I've been thinking. Then I needed a multiple, of course. You just plug in one VCO and you can route it to other points there. Multiple passive is quite enough for this here. Of course I have this random noise here, and I have one module here, the A184-1, 84 like 84TE. You have limited space, and you think about, I need a ring modulator, I need a sample and hold, and I might need a slew limiter to do some portamento, and everything is in this 4TE A184-1. So that seemed to be quite nice to me. And I got one thing here from Intelligible. It's a CV and audio mixer without losing voltage. What you do when you lose a passive, when you use a passive multiple like the A182. So that seemed to be a good investment for me. Again, that's it. I will post a little bit, from the website. I put this system up and post how it looks on this video, and you can think about if you need it also. Don't forget about the microbrute. I told you about that. What I'm going to do now, I do a composition with that thing, only this one. I don't use the microbrute, and only let it talk through patches, so that you get an impression what is possible with that. And this is electronic music, this is not sequences. I see so many people out there who just use it to run some sequences, or do techno by this, or I can do that with other stuff. I got the feeling it's adequate to just let it go and speak by itself here. So we're going to have a look at what this might do. And if there's more than one click, this is more an artistic approach to what you can do here. It's not nice, it's sounds that thing can do. And I play it directly into Cubase and use some filters and some effects from Cubase to process it. but then you get an impression what's possible, and I do some video synthesis also to get this synestetical things I've been talking about in my third video, I think, and what this alone can do by patching together, and you might get an impression for that. Okay.